Los Angeles fire? Who is responsible? A massive wildfire has swept across Los Angeles, leaving destruction in its wake. Thousands of acres have been scorched, countless homes destroyed, and lives turned upside down. But the big question remains: how did this fire start, and who is responsible for the devastation? The cause of the fire. Early reports suggest that the fire may have started due to human negligence. Investigators are exploring several possibilities, including illegal campfires left unattended, faulty power lines sparking in the dry brush, and even potential arson. Each of these causes highlights a different aspect of the wildfire risk that California faces. Illegal campfires often go unnoticed in remote areas, making them a significant threat during fire season. These unattended fires can smolder for hours before igniting a blaze, particularly in areas with dense vegetation and dry conditions. Authorities have emphasized the importance of educating the public about the dangers of starting fires in these high-risk areas. Faulty power lines, on the other hand, point to systemic infrastructure issues. California's aging electrical grids are often vulnerable to high winds, leading to sparks that can ignite fires. These failures highlight a long-standing issue of underinvestment in utility infrastructure. Utility companies have faced criticism for not investing adequately in modernizing their infrastructure, leaving communities exposed to preventable disasters. Some experts argue that more rigorous maintenance schedules and the adoption of advanced technologies, such as insulated power lines, could dramatically reduce fire risks. If arson is confirmed, it will underscore the devastating impact of deliberate human actions in exacerbating natural disasters. Arsonists often exploit dry, windy conditions to maximize destruction. Past cases have shown how a single individual can trigger devastation that costs billions in damages. Authorities are intensifying their investigations, employing satellite imagery, surveillance footage, and on-ground forensic analysis to trace the fire's origins. California's notoriously dry weather and strong Santa Ana winds created the perfect conditions for the fire to spread uncontrollably. These winds, which can gust up to 70 miles per hour, act as a natural accelerant, carrying embers across long distances and igniting new fires in multiple locations. With climate change worsening, experts warn that rising global temperatures, prolonged droughts, and increasing vegetation dryness have turned wildfires into a year-round threat. Efforts to mitigate these risks require a blend of local forest management strategies and global climate initiatives. High-profile losses. Among the homes destroyed in this tragedy are those belonging to several Hollywood celebrities. Reports confirm that the luxurious homes of A-list actresses and other public figures have been reduced to ashes. These properties, often located in the scenic hills of Los Angeles, are particularly vulnerable due to their proximity to dry brush and wooded areas. The expansive landscapes that make these homes desirable also expose them to greater fire risks. These homes often incorporate unique architectural designs and materials that, while visually stunning, can be highly flammable. Features such as wooden decks, large glass windows, and vegetation-integrated designs can turn into liabilities during wildfires. Even state-of-the-art fire suppression systems have proven ineffective against the rapid spread of the flames. Some celebrity homeowners had minutes to evacuate, leaving behind irreplaceable art, memorabilia, and personal belongings. The loss of these high-profile homes has drawn significant media attention, putting a spotlight on the broader impact of the fire. Celebrities have taken to social media to share their stories, raising awareness about the fire's toll on ordinary residents. This has galvanized support for relief efforts, with several high-profile figures organizing fundraisers and pledging significant donations to recovery programs. Impact on residents. The fire has forced over 30,000 people to evacuate their homes, with many leaving behind cherished belongings and a lifetime of memories. Emergency shelters are packed and resources are running low. Families have lost everything from basic necessities to the sense of security that comes with a stable home. Many evacuees face the daunting task of rebuilding their lives from scratch, navigating insurance claims, temporary housing, and emotional trauma. The displacement has been particularly hard on vulnerable populations, including children, the elderly, and those with disabilities. For children, the disruption to their education and routine can have long-lasting psychological effects. Many schools in affected areas have been closed indefinitely, leaving families to scramble for alternative arrangements. For the elderly and disabled, the physical challenges of evacuation and relocation add another layer of difficulty. Social workers and healthcare providers have been stretched thin, providing essential care and mental health support to those in need. Local businesses have also suffered immensely. Many small enterprises that form the backbone of these communities have been destroyed or are unable to reopen due to fire damage and unsafe conditions. Restaurants, shops, and service providers are facing financial ruin, compounding the economic ripple effect of the wildfire. For businesses that remain intact, disruptions in supply chains and diminished customer traffic present ongoing challenges. Government aid programs and community crowdfunding initiatives are being mobilized to support these local economies. The environmental toll is equally devastating. Wildlife habitats have been obliterated, leaving countless animals displaced and struggling to survive. Conservationists warn that the loss of biodiversity in these areas could take decades to recover. The destruction of vegetation has stripped the land of its natural defenses, increasing the risk of soil erosion and flooding in the coming months. The city's air quality has plummeted, with thick smoke blanketing the region and creating hazardous conditions for residents. Prolonged exposure to polluted air poses significant health risks, particularly for children, the elderly, and individuals with pre-existing respiratory conditions like asthma. Experts estimate that it could take decades for the affected areas to recover fully. Reforestation efforts and habitat restoration will require significant resources and time, while the emotional scars left on affected communities may linger for generations. Long-term mental health support and community rebuilding programs will be critical in helping residents move forward. Accountability. As the flames are brought under control, attention is turning to accountability. If power line malfunctions are proven to be the cause, utility companies could face significant lawsuits and regulatory scrutiny. In recent years, major energy providers in California have already paid billions in damages for their role in previous wildfires. These recurring incidents raise serious questions about whether these companies are doing enough to modernize their infrastructure and mitigate risks. Critics argue that utility companies have prioritized profits over safety, delaying essential upgrades to aging systems despite clear warnings from experts. State regulators and lawmakers are under pressure to implement stricter oversight and ensure that energy providers take immediate action to prevent future disasters. This includes investing in advanced technologies like fire-resistant power lines, automatic shutoff systems, and AI-powered monitoring tools that can detect and mitigate faults before they cause fires. Authorities are also cracking down on individuals who fail to follow fire safety regulations. Those found responsible for illegal campfires or deliberate acts of arson could face severe legal consequences, including hefty fines and imprisonment. Public awareness campaigns are being ramped up to educate residents about fire prevention, emphasizing the importance of personal responsibility in safeguarding communities. Additionally, stricter enforcement of building codes and land use policies is being called for to minimize risks in fire-prone areas. Moving forward, efforts to contain the fire continue, with firefighters working tirelessly around the clock. Air support and ground crews are making progress, but full containment is still days away. Firefighters have described the challenging conditions they face, including intense heat, unpredictable wind patterns, and the sheer scale of the fire. Despite these obstacles, their dedication and bravery have been instrumental in preventing further loss of life and property. Many firefighters have also highlighted the need for increased funding, advanced equipment, and better training to tackle wildfires more effectively in the future. In the meantime, residents are being urged to stay vigilant and follow evacuation orders. Authorities have set up information hubs to keep the public informed about the fire's progress and provide resources for those affected. Community organizations and volunteers have stepped in to provide meals, clothing, and emotional support to displaced families, demonstrating the power of collective resilience and solidarity in times of crisis. As Los Angeles begins to heal, one thing is clear. This disaster has brought to light the urgent need for stricter fire prevention measures, better infrastructure, and increased awareness about the dangers of wildfires. Investments in advanced fire detection systems, improved forest management practices, and stronger building codes could significantly reduce the risk of future wildfires. Climate change mitigation efforts, such as reducing greenhouse gas emissions and adopting sustainable practices, are also critical in addressing the root causes of worsening fire seasons. Policymakers, businesses, and residents must work together to implement long-term solutions that prioritize safety and sustainability. What do you think? Who is responsible for this incident?